All thoughts are auto-suggestions. What does this mean? Auto means self, so self-suggestions. What is a suggestion? So, first of all, I want to say that I'm going to explain things in this video you have to think about or feel more like for yourself, like how it relates to your own experience. Like as I'm talking about this, you should be thinking about your own experience and how this is true, like how this might be true in your own experience, okay? So like don't be too Xing this video because you will probably miss the point. It will be too fast. If you're going that fast, it's just like you're in zoomer mode and you will not be really going deep enough to realize this. Okay, so normally we think that we are thinking. But if you really pay close enough attention, you will realize that all the time you wake up for a moment from being completely absorbed in something when really you didn't have to be. Like maybe somebody, how do you say, baited you into an argument, and you got caught up in it and like got all worked up about it. And then you realize, wait, actually I didn't ever have to argue with that idiot. Could have just walked away. Like I could have just ignored him, whatever first comment that he made, right? Your thoughts are just like that. But most of the people don't realize this. They think that they are thinking, but really, if you pay attention, your thoughts are actually happening before you even realize it, most of the time. And if you're paying attention, like maybe right now, you can pay attention while you're listening to me, like, are there any thoughts going on? Like, is there some judgment about this video or what you're doing, or some evaluation of, oh, I wonder if I'm wasting my time right now, or if this is going to be worth listening to. I don't know if he's crazy, stupid, or if this is like some wise shit. Like whatever you're thinking, you have to realize that everything like that is a thought, right? And so, yeah, depending on how you view like willpower or self-authorship or this kind of thing, like the idea of free will, I'm not going to argue about free will in this video. I'm not going to make any assertions about it or anything. But no matter how you feel about it, you can just pay attention and see that thoughts just happen and you get caught up in them kind of unwittingly. If you pay close enough attention in your everyday life, you will also see that this happens to you even in like real time. Like you give into some pressure from outside, like a reflex, before you can even think about it. So just the way that if suddenly somebody who walks past you, like you just think it's just another person on the street and they walk past you and then suddenly they do this like quick motion, right? You're going to be like this without thinking about it, right? So it's this kind of thing. And it actually happens all the time. If you pay close attention, you will realize that in some situations you're doing certain things before you, like you have some sort of behavior. It might be a small thing. It might be that like you lower your head and like look down when somebody makes eye contact with you. and it happens before you can even make a choice, or like looking back you realize, oh, I kind of did that automatically. Like I said, again, you have to actually put in a little bit of work here yourself to just notice this. I just notice the fact that, oh, before I even thought about it, I just lowered my head when somebody made eye contact with me. For example, it could be anything, like I said, small or big thing. Like maybe there's like a discussion you have with your coworker, or like some argument kind of starts to boil up, and you kind of automatically back down. And yeah, like the day kind of continues as you're used to, but then you realize, wait, I was, like, for example, I just backed down, and I really didn't even choose to do that. Like, it just happened before I could even think about it. So this doesn't have to be in a negative way. It can also be, of course, in a positive way. Like, I mean, it's kind of debatable. Let's just say it's like debatable if it's positive or negative. But maybe you laugh reflexively. I mean, this is again something you could think about one way or another, right? Of course, like laughing when you genuinely find something funny is obviously kind of an involuntary reflex, right? But what if literally every thought was just like that? Just somewhat involuntary. Because if you pay attention, it is. If you try right now to not think for the next 5 to 10 seconds, let's say, or I mean, I would tell you to like pause the video and just take 1 to 5 minutes to just try it out, just so you have enough time to notice really how, okay, your thoughts will just go on by themselves. Even if you say like, okay, for the next 1 minute, for the next 2 minutes, I don't want to think anything. So you set a time on your phone and you put the 1 minute or 2 minute, and see if you can just, even for 1 minute, not think. And what you'll find is that it's involuntary. Before you know it, you're thinking about something again. Or you're feeling hungry and you're like, ah, shit, I want to, like, you're just suddenly thinking about food, and you're, oh, I fell off the board here. Is like the thing, the kind of theme of today's video. Yeah, if you think of meditation like surfing, then it's just like this. Like maybe you pick a point on the wall, or you light a candle, right? Just whatever, small one. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. And you just focus on the candle, for example. A candle is good, for example, because it has like this bright, small spot for you to focus on. So it's just easy to not overthink where you're looking, or it's easy to notice when you're getting distracted. So you kind of notice when your vision is pulling away from the center of the candle, or if your attention is not on the candle anymore, but on just whatever else, or like you're caught up in some fantasy about the future, or about I mean, not a fantasy maybe about the past, but a memory in any case of the past. And that's like, oh, when you find yourself involved in that, that's when you fell off the board. And you get back on the board again by just picking the spot on the wall or wherever, or the candle, and then just focusing on it and noticing when you are getting distracted in one way or another. And really, it's not even something that you have to do for a long time in like particular, because the realization is actually like instant. You can exist without thinking, and things can happen without you thinking. Like if somebody was expecting you to do something, they'll probably tell you about it. So it's not like you really have to be thinking all the time. Like we tell ourselves that we have to be thinking. And yes, some thought is required, of course, but it's also nothing like you should never be thinking. It's just that you should be aware that right now you are thinking, but not thinking all the time when it's really not necessary. Because this is, I think, what really fuels the pain and suffering in your life. Uh, I know for sure for myself that I was, I had this moment where I just realized that, oh, okay, actually, if I'm just in the present moment, I'm not thinking about anything, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling like quite happy, quite content somehow. Like, despite like that my life had gone to shit, um, at that point, I was just like, well, what the fuck? Actually, I'm happy if I'm just in the present moment. Um, but as soon as I start thinking about my past and how I lost everything. And I think about the future and I worry, like, how am I gonna continue from here? And what am I gonna do? And what about this and that? And that shit is making me depressed. And so really it's like, well, I've been trying to solve this problem of the depression by analyzing the entire inside of it and feeling like convinced that there has to be some solution in the end, like some insight that would be like, if only I could find it, you know, if only I could find the last missing piece, then all these things that I'm thinking about and worrying about the future, I could finally find a solution to the missing piece. Like, if I had it, you know, it would just be like, finally, all my problems are gone. But really, the solution that I was looking for is just this, to just stop thinking. Like, that was the final insight. I just needed to stop thinking. And that's how my depression would leave for the largest part. Like, it still shows up, but compared to what it was before, I don't know. Um, but yeah, important point again is that you can be thinking about something while not really being involved in it, like not being caught up in it. It's not really the problem of if you're thinking or not, or even if you're getting distracted or not, because even a distraction is, you can be aware that you're getting distracted, so you can focus on, I'll just use the candle as the example from now on. You focus on the candle and you realize, okay, now thoughts are coming up and I'm fantasizing about this or that, or I'm angry about this thing that happened in the past. Um, and you can like be observing all of that while at the same time being aware that, okay, I'm thinking, I'm analyzing something right now, or I am fantasizing or remembering something. So yeah, you can still do all of that, and you just be aware. And so that's like the surfboard metaphor. because in basically like the candle is redundant. It's just in the end you should be focusing on yourself instead, like the fact of you being aware. Just that fact. Like, for example, when you're watching this video right now, realize how you're just sitting there and watching it and listening and like hearing it. I wanted to say hearing it, and you're listening to it. Yeah, and then you can notice your thoughts and your feelings in the moment. And from there, you can kind of make a choice by just watching each thought that comes up. So you're like surfing in the moment, and then out of the water there's like, oh, we should go to Burger King later, it's gonna be delicious. It's like, and you're like, shh. You're aware that this is just one suggestion, one auto suggestion, this thought, and you can choose whether to like latch onto that and feel that craving and like start arguing with yourself about like, oh, but it's unhealthy. Oh shit, wait, but it really tastes good. I was like, no, this is not a fucking Burger King ad. Like, I never go there, by the way, and I wouldn't because, sorry, this is shit. What the fuck? I guess I also cannot even say that, so like, scrap both of those. Like, no opinion, like, before this video gets taken down as slander or something. Yes, it's great, whatever. So this is just one thought that pops up, right? And you're like arguing in your head about like, okay, is it good for me or should I just give in to my desire? But all of that, like the whole thing is optional. If you're just surfing, right? You're just aware, self-aware in the moment. Like, okay, I'm, for example, sitting here. I'm doing this, like, that's kind of as far as the fact is going. So like I'm sitting here in front of the camera recording myself. That's and talking. That's like the fact. But what I say, or if I just end it here and get up, it's all kind of up to me. But I can only have that choice really if I'm even aware that I'm following a script right now. Like I'm not actually following a script for the video, but if I'm engaging in the act of like making a video, then that's me following a script that pops up in my head saying like, oh, we should make a video. We should explain this shit to the people on YouTube. Like, who knows how many views it'll get. all the fucking whatever bullshit, right? And so, I mean, I'm sitting basically in meditation. I'm thinking, okay, yeah, I don't know if it's like what the fuck ever about the views, but it seems like overall like a worthwhile endeavor. And so I say okay to that thought and I sit down and make a video. And that's like my evaluation of what to do. That's like as far as it goes. And then I'm just back to being fucking a caveman, basically. Like, like no thoughts in my head. Because it's really not necessary. People act as if like, oh, you have to think about your life, you have to plan what you need to do and da da da. But really, no. Like, even if we're talking about like achieving your dreams and shit like that, people will be like making all this type of content saying like, okay, this is how you make a vision board, and then do this, and to discipline yourself you should get up at the 5:30 in the morning and take a cold shower. That will help with your discipline, and then you can get yourself to do more things that you don't want to do. So to me that was always like, I mean, I also got caught up in it, but I always deep down kind of knew that it's all bullshit in a way, because I actually kind of did everything that I really wanted to do in life. I made my dreams come true that I really did not even really believe in myself. But it all happened just naturally because I just wanted to do it, not because I was forcing myself or whatever, even though it was like some very difficult shit that I was doing. Some very difficult shit that I was doing. But it was just okay, this is worth it. Done. Like this is that's basically all that's going on um, in your brain, and every thought that you have about like, oh, how should I do it? Like I need to get the routine right, and blah blah blah. That's literally all just overcomplicating. Like okay, like then of course then we get to some level, right, where like it's like okay, you want something very specific, then like okay, maybe you start having some like structure to bring it about. Like if you're a bodybuilder, maybe you have a certain ritual and you have very regular practice, but that's like because you want to be a bodybuilder or because you want to have that physique. And so the laying down of the routine is also going to happen automatically. Like at one point, I was going to the gym. I kid you not, I was spending like an average of like 4 or 5 hours every day in the gym. And I know I don't like look like much right now. Um, and back then, I also didn't look like crazy, in my opinion. Like I had 4 out of 8 abs become like coming out kind of, and I was still quite thin or whatever you call it, like quite lean. But women would appreciate my physique and my muscles really. They said that it turned them on and stuff. Um, yeah, but I really hated going to the gym always. But in this period of my life, I just really wanted to get it done and just get in a good shape and be more desirable to women. Um, so it just happened that I just went there and spent like 5 hours every day while not eating enough at all. Like my face was black at some points, or like I would get like these red spots whenever I was doing a difficult exercise. So whatever, like you push yourself to the absolute limit. Like I was fucking throwing up and shit. Um, but all of it happened kind of effortlessly in a way. Like didn't have like I had a smile on my face back then. Like I was not even really eating because I had too little money to eat really at the time. So what the fuck? But I was like working whatever 3 hours a day, which is little makes sense that I didn't have much money. But then like spending 5 or more hours every day at the gym, like doing everything from A to Z, basically like warming up the wrists first for like 20 minutes, or like I mean doing like wrist workouts to like strengthen my wrists because I was doing calisthenics. And so like the wrist would always be like this thing. So I like doing like a 20-minute workout for the wrists, and then stretching and shit, and like doing all this type of shit, like all the every like kind of pre-workout thing that you could think of, like stretching or yoga or whatever. I was kind of doing it. I had like 5 routines or something that I was going through that other people, they might go to the gym and do one of those routines and leave, but I was doing like 5 every day. Um, yeah, but so all that is like a huge effort, right? But I didn't force myself or anything at that time. And so like this is not about like what my results were. I'm just pointing out the effort here. That's what I really want to point out. Just the effort that I was putting in. I was not fucking myself up really at that time. Like, not that I could tell. It was fucking me up, of course, on some level, but I was not even aware of it, so I didn't feel any of it. So that's like just to show that like you can voluntarily fuck yourself up and be happy doing it. And it has nothing to do with like how strong-willed you are or something, because I really wasn't, to be honest. Like, I don't think I was ever that strong-willed, but I just learned to work around it. I just kind of like figured out like what the fuck. But okay, whatever. Um, it's actually so funny to me if I think about the fact that I feel like I was such a lazy ass for a big period of my life, but then like I still got to like fulfill my dreams. But whatever. Um, it's at the same time like I don't want to even be talking about this topic because it's like kind of an embarrassing story. But if you stayed until here, then yeah, is what it is. Uh, okay. Anyway, I'm not gonna tell the story. I'm sorry, right? But just suffice to say that like I just kind of have a complex, I guess, about not not doing something as great as other people did. Like fucking Elon Musk, like he dreams of like colonizing Mars, so he actually goes ahead and does it. Like what the fuck, you know? Like I didn't do anything that crazy, not even remotely. But I just did what I wanted to do, and I didn't think around like I was a chronic overthinker. Like even now, I'm probably like still a chronic overthinker, really. Um, but I lost the fucking thread. There you go. Whatever. Yeah, I guess if you watch this far, thank you, and I hope it kind of was insightful in some way. Other than that, take care. See you in the next one, maybe.